Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Matt, and I'm back with another review. This one's gonna be for The Flash, Season 4, Episode 1. The Flash, Reborn. And I enjoyed this episode, so let's get right into it. So in this episode, we get Iris narration instead of Barry's, as usual. And I thought that was really cool, even though I was hoping it was Wally, because as some of you guys may know, Wally is, was the main version of the Flash in the comics for about 20 years. And I was hoping this would be his moment to do the "My name is Wally West" for 5 years, blah 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 blah, and all that. But something I really liked about this episode is that Iris is actually doing stuff again. Like, she's an actual character again, just like Season 1. In Season 2 and 3, I feel like she was just Barry's girlfriend, or in Season 3, she was just the damsel in distress. For that whole season, it was just, we have to save Iris, until she finally shot Savitar at the end. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. It may be too late for that, but sorry. And something I noticed about this episode, by the way, is there was a lot of callbacks to Season 1. Peekaboo being one, the villain that Wally and Cisco had to stop this episode. She was in maybe the first 8 episodes of Season 1, maybe, and a bunch of other stuff, but I'll get to that soon. But Wally, I don't like the way they handle Wally either, but once again, I'll get to that soon later on in my review. But anyway, they capture Peekaboo, and we see who the main villain for this episode is, and that main villain is the Samuroid dude, or android. So Cisco and Wally run into him, and he says, "I want the Flash," and then Cisco goes to Star Labs and tells Iris and them about how he's been working on a plan to bring Barry back. So Cisco needs help with doing this, and he goes into a bar and he goes to, guess who? Caitlin. And she pretty much agrees to help him. Then in the next scene, we go back to that airfield from the pilot episode of The Flash, where Barry, I think that's when he broke the speed of sound for the first time in that pilot episode. And something I thought was kind of funny about this scene, and really whenever Joe does this, is when Cisco mentioned the quark sphere, and Joe's just like, "What?" And then they have to explain what the quark sphere is. I feel like Joe is the casual audience member that doesn't know comic books or science. So as that audience member, you have to have things explained to you, and Joe's always been that since the show started, so I just always think that's kind of funny. So anyway, Cisco shoots the Speed Force gun into the portal, and they all think it's about to work, but it doesn't work, or at least they think it doesn't work. And Barry comes out of the Speed Force in his birthday suit, Terminator style, and he bumps into that family's truck to make a very awkward moment where he's the passed out naked guy on the road. And they go back to Star Labs, and something about Iris this episode. I understand she doesn't want to get her hopes up and for them to be crushed, but why doesn't she just believe that Barry can come back? She knows Cisco's a smart guy. She knows they've done things that they thought weren't possible before. So I don't understand why she was acting like kind of a dick this episode. But anyway, Cecile calls Joe, and she tells him that Barry's in the CCPD precinct. And they see Barry, and he's talking all Mad Hatter fused with Riddler on cocaine and stuff. And it was kind of sad, but it was kind of funny. Because he was just making no sense. But yeah, they take him back to Star Labs, and they increase his head, and he wakes up to Poker Face, which I believe is another callback to Season 1 and maybe the pilot episode. But yeah, he wakes back up, and Iris talks to him, and he gets really crazy with the Speed Force, and he starts running around the Cortex. And as he's running around, Caitlin brings out the cold gun, and she freezes him. And soon after that, in the next scene, they find out that the Samuroid comes back, and this And, I didn't like this, but Wally puts on Barry's old suit and he starts fighting the Samuroid, and I just don't get how he's getting hit by a samurai android when he has an entity giving him the speed. Like, dude, how are you getting hit? Your reflexes are super fast. I didn't get that. Also, I just don't like how they handle Wally in the show. They don't give him that much to do. In season 3, yeah, he was faster than Barry at that point in his career being the Flash, but what did he really do aside from getting tricked by Savitar? Savitar tricked him the first time, and that's how he got his powers. Then the second time Savitar tricked him, he was almost trapped into the Speed Force. Other than that, in season 3, what did Wally really do? I just feel like they don't give him that much to do in the show, but I don't know, maybe they want to focus more on other characters like Joe and Iris, but I still feel like Wally should have more to do in the show. And after Wally gets back, the next scene is when Cisco gets the idea that the Speed Force symbols that Barry's writing is polyalphabetic or whatever he called it. And the build up to this joke was great because from the music to Cisco's, oh my god, I finally found it out. And then we just get this house is bitchin'. I literally laughed out loud when that happened. So towards the end of the episode, Iris makes a really, really ballsy move and asks the Samuroid to take her because she just has that feeling that Barry's gonna come and get her back. And Joe goes to Barry and he's trying to explain to him he has Iris. And then this was a pretty cool scene when Barry just turns back and he gets the lightning in his eyes and he just runs out and takes the new suit. And Cisco and Wally are talking and they say this is the fastest anybody has ever gone. Pretty much saying that Barry's now the fastest speedster that they've ever seen. That means he's faster than Thawne, Zoom, Savitar, Trajectory, and all of them. And I hope it stays that way for the season because that whole narration in the beginning where he's like, I'm the fastest man alive, he hasn't been. He has not been for the first 3 seasons. Thawne was faster, Zoom was faster, and Savitar was faster. Well, full big major spoilers for season 3. Savitar was him, but not the Barry we know. It's a different version of Barry. That's the darkest Barry ever, but that doesn't count. Because he was saying I'm the fastest man alive and he wasn't for 3 seasons. So I think for this season, because they said that now, he's going to be the fastest man alive for real for the whole season. So anyway, Barry finally saves Iris from the Samuroid, and I gotta admit the suit looks so freaking badass. I know we saw it last season in that episode where he went to the future, but still, this suit looks pretty sick. I don't know if I'm just saying that because I'm sick of his old suit that we've had for 3 seasons. I mean, I gotta admit it's been overdue. Because Oliver on Arrow, he had like 5 costumes in 5 seasons, but Barry only had 1 for 3. I don't think that was fair. And every other speedster had a cooler costume than him too, except for Savitar. That suit, that metal bulky thing, that just looked whack. But yeah, I really like the new suit though. It looks pretty sick. So something I didn't like was after Barry got back, he said he didn't remember anything between the time from him going into the Speed Force and when he saved Iris from the Samuroid. He has to remember something because like he must learn a lot of stuff to be doing all those symbols on the walls and stuff, but maybe that'll be explained later on in the season. But I don't know, I didn't like that. And also, doesn't him leaving the Speed Force have some type of repercussions? Doesn't another speedster have to take his place? And if no one took his place, wouldn't there be another Speed Force storm? I didn't get that, but maybe that'll be explained in a future episode. But something I did like was when Caitlin was back in the bar and she said he wouldn't like me when I'm frosty. I just thought that was a cool little nod to the Hulk. And finally we get our first look at Clifford DeVoe, the Thinker. And I thought he looked pretty cool, as cool as they can make him, because I've seen some pictures from him in the comics, and there's one where he has this digital suit where it looks like the Matrix, and if they would have done that on the TV show, I wouldn't be able to take him seriously. And I also like how at the end he just says, "I'm thinking," like a typical bad guy. That's all he needed was a mustache, and he just needed to twirl it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really liked this episode. It was a good premiere. Um, Maybe the best premiere of the series so far. Yeah, I would say that. So there were a few dull moments. There were a few moments where I didn't really like it, but there were a lot of good moments. And with that being said, I'm gonna give this premiere a 9 out of 10 final score. And this review went on a little longer than I expected it to. So with that being said, I will catch you guys later. Peace.